Hey Feisties! Feisty founder Sarah Gross here. We talk a lot about how important strength training is for women. So I'm kind of wondering, how's your strength training going? If you've ever started a program and lost steam after a few weeks, we know the issue is not what you know. It's about consistency and making a new routine stick. It's about fitting strength training into your already busy life. That's why we created the September Coaching Community, a 4-week strength Kickstarter designed to help you turn strength training into a lifelong habit. So here's what's included. Our most popular course, Strong, which includes a 16-week progressive strength training program with demo videos and all the supplemental info you need on nutrition, injury prevention, mobility, and more. It includes expert coaching from Coach Cassie Neiman and Feisty's head of education, Linda Rowan, personalized feedback on your lifts so you can train smarter and safer, fun weekly challenges to keep you motivated, and a supportive crew of like-minded Feisty women to keep you accountable. And here's the best part. You get all of that, the training plan, expert coaching, and a built-in community for less than you would pay for 1 month at most coached gyms. We kick off September 3rd, but enrollment closes August 30th. And these special coaching opportunities only happen a couple times a year. So head on over to learning.feisty.co and look for the Strong course cohort to sign up. The link to all the info you need and to sign up is in the show notes of this episode. Join us and start strong this fall.
All right, Feisties, we have everyone back together. It's Kelly, Joanne Murphy's here, Katie Zafaris. It's like the whole gang. First time in weeks, yeah. Joanne, we said we were going to start by what have you been up to? You have been in Switzerland. You've been in France. You have been back in Switzerland. What is going on? And you've been sending us pictures.
I was sending you pictures of me working really hard, but nobody actually noticed the bottle of whiskey in the middle of the table. Did you notice? Only one person picked it up. A whiskey lover picked up that there was a bottle of Redbreast whiskey in the pot in the middle of the table in the middle of the day. We weren't actually drinking it. So I was in Switzerland for the Swiss Epic. So I was on my downtime in the photographs I was sending you. I was on my holidays in St. Moritz. So Switzerland for the Swiss Epic. It's a 5-stage mountain bike race owned by the Epic series, which is owned by Ironman. So basically, mountain bikers, UCI pro men and women, alongside amateurs, conquer the Alps. So they covered over 300 kilometers, over 10,000 meters of climbing, starting in Davos, moving on to La Punt. They did some of the Bernina Pass. The highest point they went to was 2,600 meters above sea level. So we were way up in the mountains on the Scaletta Pass. And we finished in Davos. So 5 days. And it's part of the Epic series. So the pinnacle of the Epic series then is the ABSA Cape Epic in South Africa. So it was really cool. And I had 3 days off then. So I went down to San Moritz for a couple of days and a bit of exploring, bit of hiking, bit of fun. And then I headed off to Ironman 70.3 Vichy, which was the 10th anniversary of that race. So it was an age group race, 2,500 people, 62% were first-time athletes, and almost 20% were women in general, of all the numbers. So it was really cool. So it was a really good day. It was very hot. So I'm home now. Got home late yesterday afternoon. I'm home till next Thursday, and then I go into the big stint. So
big stint. Did I see? I feel like I saw a press release today that there's going to be an Ironman Vichy again.
So they've actually announced an Ironman 70.3 in Vitoria on the same day as Ironman Vitoria Gasteiz. And then Ironman Vichy is back. So I think the last time they did it was 2023. So it's back. But it's in a fabulous location. So it's just outside the city centre. And you actually are staying, we were staying in what can only be described as a training facility that feels like you're on a university campus. So everything. So like, I don't know if you may actually have been there, Katie.
No, I think USAT, I haven't been there personally, but like Ryan Bolton's group, there's a high performance group who trains out of there,
And
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
The para athletes used it before the
I was going to say,
Paralympics.
the
yeah.
para athletes. Yes, it's called Vichy Sports. It's about 3K outside the city. So I never actually got to see the city other than the drive back to the train station to head back home. But yeah, and everything is so compact and it was fabulous. Like the bike course had about 900 meters of elevation. The run course was flat. The river was beautiful. So if there's any of the American or Canadian listeners looking for a nice race, I definitely think it's going to be epic next year. It's going to be really, really good. The Vichy race, and it's easily accessible as well within reason.
And it's like amazing. It's like amazing to train there too,
now
right?
I ran along the
there.
river, but there's no gym on site, or at least the gym wasn't open when we were there, and the swimming pool then is about 2 miles away. So I didn't have access to getting away from the event site other than if I ran away. So I went for a little run on I think it was Saturday, was it Friday or Saturday morning? Did a lovely run along the route. So what I try and do now is run a little bit of the run route wherever I am if I can. Now that I'm back running again, and managed to do a little race for myself before I went on my travels. But
do you I feel like, okay, so you were telling us before we got on, like all of the times you had to change hotels. At this point, are you a professional in terms of packing for a triathlon? Do you have like tips for people?
Bring less than you think you'll need, always. And actually,
but it's the opposite for triathletes. Bring more than you think you need.
No, she's right.
If the weather's different,
look at you can layer up. You can layer up. Bring washing powder, rubber gloves, Vanish soap. I know of a very prominent member of the Ironman energy team. I'm not going to give away who it is. Brings a line of rope and clothesline clips so that they can hang their washing in the bathroom. I didn't do that, but the tip I have is bring less than what you need. You're always going to be given stuff. Well, at least we are, like t-shirts and bags and bits and pieces. And actually I got a gift of the little packing cubes for Christmas. And I thought, I probably won't ever use them, but they are, oh my word, they are so good. So
they're game changing.
they definitely are. And they kind of help to keep everything in the one spot. But yeah, I mean, I had a 20 kg bag. It was 18 kg on the way out. I think it was 19 kg on the way home. I got given a race bag in Vichy, which was bigger than the backpack I brought with me. Luckily, I had booked on a 10 kg carry-on plus the little hand luggage thing. So yeah, few panic stations, all right, packing at certain times. So I think over the 15 nights I was away, I stayed in a different hotel or in hotels: Dublin, Davos, La Punt, Davos, St. Moritz, Geneva, Vichy, and Lyon. So 9 different locations in 15 nights.
And what was the favorite stop?
That's really hard because I loved both of the events. They're very different, obviously. The Epic Series is owned by Ironman, but it's a very different style of event. The racing is different. The riders have 5 days to do their race, whereas obviously with Ironman 70.3, everything is on the one day. You have one shot to have a great race. But I'm going to have to pick my downtime, which was with Daniela Reef and her partner Jenny and Daniela's best friend Maddie. And didn't realize it at the time until we were chatting one of the evenings that it was Danny's year anniversary for her retirement. So it was very special, actually. So she has a connection to Ireland. That's how we've become friends. Her partner's grandmother has a house about an hour away from here in Galway. So we connected when they were over earlier in the year, and we've just stayed connected. But we had so much fun. I mean, we went hiking, we went out running, we went for fabulous food, we went exploring, and just had and we actually worked. We actually, all 4 of us were in different rooms in the house, except myself and Jen kind of worked at the kitchen table, but Daniela was in one room and her friend Maddie was in another room. And we all were working on one day until about, I would say, 4 o'clock. And then it was like, okay, I'm done. I'm on my holidays now. I want to go play. So yeah, so that was definitely a highlight, and important too. I mean, Katie, I'm sure you recall from your days of traveling as well, you know, if you're doing back-to-back events, having those days to recharge and just do non-work stuff or training stuff is so important. Like I was totally refreshed, even though I was tired going into the race in Vichy, but my brain was refreshed, if you know that kind of way. My body was tired, but my brain was happy. Does that make sense?
I feel like we don't necessarily get that refresher time, like always, just because it's like you go from like a race to the next race and it's like, okay, well now you're preparing for the next race. Like,
Right.
So
There was
nice.
It sounds lovely. Yeah. There was some like ad that maybe is just a very American ad, Joanne, but it was joking about like, what is a vacation? And she was like, oh, you mean the time when I sit in my car before I get out? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That time.
No, the next 3 weeks are completely different. Like they're bananas. They're just back to back to back. Actually, sorry, no, I lie. I have 2 extra days in Nice. I'm taking 2 days in Nice.
Oh, good.
To chill before Ironman Wales. That's my holiday.
We are starting the back-to-back-to-back season, though. It's getting down to it now, which obviously we're going to talk about today. Later in the show, we're going to talk about all the races this week in the T100, the WTCS, the last Ironman Pro Series before the championships.
But Kelly, before we do all of that, you were back racing this weekend.
Here's okay. So now that we're talking about packing, I did a triathlon, guys, with just a carry-on.
I did see that on Instagram.
Yeah. Isn't that pretty impressive?
No bike.
No bike. Well, yeah, that's why I had no bike. And so I just like put everything in a backpack and carried it in. And I think it's the new way to do triathlon. You don't have to bring anything.
Well, and you went in like, what did you say? You arrived that morning?
I went straight from the airport to the SuperTri race, which was really fun. And then I had to go from the talk to Georgia, talk to Jean, who we'll hear from in a second. And then I had to go straight to check-in because I was going to like miss it. And the 4 volunteers were like, I did not follow the rules, let's just say. And they were like, not going to let me in. And I was like, oh no, am I going to have to like call somebody I know to like get me in?
Well, they were dealing with like 8,000 age group athletes. Like,
I know.
It was insane.
And I think I was the very last person.
Like you're that person.
Yeah. But I was telling my parents, though, so I grew up in Chicago. And then it was like, I kept having these very Chicago moments where like someone would be like, no, you can't do that. I don't know anything about that. And then you'd be like, well, and they'd be like, all right, don't worry, man. I got you. And then they'd like open a gate for you on the side. It was very Chicago.
And so you did get to race.
So I did get, and then I went straight and picked up my rental bike. And yeah, so the Chicago Tri is back up to like just under 7,000 people. Like across the sprint, Olympic, super sprint, they have like 400 kids doing their kids race. Like that's
so cool.
Yeah. So it's like pretty big. And one of the things they've done is really make it like accessible for first timers. So there's a wave where you can just ride the city bikes, like the city share bikes.
That's going to be awesome to see.
Yeah. And then there is also like there's literally a tent that was in transition where you could have rented like a mountain bike or a road bike and so I had rented a bike and I just like picked it up, rolled it over to my transition spot.
Did you get lucky? How was your bike?
Oh no, it stopped shifting. And so the rental person sprayed more lube into the shifter and was like, you're good to go. So perfect. So it was that kind of a situation, right? Yeah.
Okay. So you didn't have to bike.
So we won't look at your bike today.
No, so I didn't have to pack a bike. I didn't pack a helmet. It was fantastic.
That is like an amazing just to have that feature at a race. Like, I mean, yeah, that's crazy to just be able to do it because now it opens it up to a lot more people.
I think it makes it like way more. No, because I am a professional packer, Joanne. No, and because obviously, if you're just like, what's the word? If you're being low key, what did we call it last week, Katie? If it's an event.
Yes, an event, not a race.
And you're being low key about it, you're like, well, if I forgot something, I'll just wing it. So
you have 5,000 other people to depend on.
Right.
We were at a local race with our athletes and one of them forgot a helmet and they're just like locally yelling around like, anyone have an extra helmet? And it's like in the races where there's a lot fewer people, there's a lot less chance there's going to be an extra helmet. But 5,000 people.
You got a chance, yeah. I did a 50K once where I left my entire vest with all my food on my kitchen table at home.
Oh, no.
And I went around to all the people sleeping in their vans because, trail runners, and asked if they had extra food. And then I just carried it with me.
Were people like accommodating?
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many people forget to bring their wetsuit on race day to an Ironman or an Ironman 70.3.
Oh,
Whatever with goggles and your timing chip. I don't understand how you can forget your wetsuit.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say even the pros forget their wetsuits.
Occasionally.
I've seen it.
So how did the race actually go then? Give us a breakdown.
But yeah, it was really fun. So I did the sprint, which was really fun. I think it was definitely when you're like, yep, this is the edge of my ability right now. You're like, yep, that is as far as I want to run right now. And it's very satisfying to be on a rental bike and passing men on much more expensive bikes. So that's very satisfying. It is a really fun race. I think Katie did it when she was an age grouper. I did it 15 years ago. They shut down one part of Lakeshore Drive, so you get to bike on this big road along the lake, which is just really cool, especially if you grew up there.
Would you believe I lived in Chicago for 3 months in North Pine Grove?
Really?
Yeah, when I was in university.
Oh. Well, then you know
the water tower was the best shopping area in town.
And then you run along the lake and you finish in Grant Park, as my husband says, in front of the Married with Children fountain, which is the Buckingham fountain. But
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
We checked that out after SuperTri last year with my mom and Kimball. So
it's really cool. And I thought it was nice. I mean, I went to the Boston Tri last year, and that is also a really good, really community focused event. It is smaller, just because it's a smaller event, and there aren't and they had just brought in the SuperTri race there. So this was nice to see a full 7,000 people back, fully redoing triathlon, back. Yeah.
And how was the vibe for the SuperTri race? How'd you like it?
Yeah, I mean, SuperTri is I feel when people watch it, it is it's exciting to watch, right? Because it's just super fast, super fun. If you've ever been to the Chicago race, the transition and the finish are a mile apart. So they were having a challenge of where to put the SuperTri event. Do they put it, because people were checking in their bikes? Do they put it by the transition? Do they put it by the finish? And so they were kind of stuck in between, which I think was people were walking by to check their bikes in and were oh, what's going on over there? Which makes it hard to get a crowd. So I think they're still trying to figure that part of that logistics out. But once people see it, it's really fun.
Yeah, it was my favorite format too, Enduro, which is
3 rounds.
The format that I want to make the Olympics one day. I think it's the best. I think it's superior to all the other formats.
I will tell you something though. Well, go ahead. So Enduro is 3 rounds.
It's 3 rounds nonstop. So it starts as draft legal, but then depending on how the race plays out, it really exposes everybody's weaknesses. So the people who win at the end are the best.
The best. They are doing that SuperTri, because SuperTri obviously has these mass participation events, and they're doing this thing where when you're out on the race course yourself, they've marked some segment that is the same distance as the SuperTri. So that then you can be oh, I ran 4K, compare it to Jean Lahair, who won, and how much faster she was. The problem is, when I got my little afterwards, I was I biked the same speed as Jean. That doesn't sound right. Because the problem is the bike for the SuperTri had so many turns and U-turns and so it makes it seem there is a 0% chance Jean could not kick my ass on the bike, right? So I was maybe they need to revise that a little. So.
Maybe that was your run pace on the bike course.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kelly.
Yeah, those courses aren't made for the speed.
No.
Be impressive.
So, but tell us then about how your swim, bike, and run actually went for you. Give me the race report.
Oh, you actually want a race report? I feel that's always boring.
We want to hear.
Who really wants that?
Back after baby.
All right. I went full speed off the front of the swim pack because, and then I was oh my God, I'm going to drown. Obviously I know I can swim. So I was okay, I guess I'm just going to have to shut it down. And I looked at my watch, you 4 minutes. I was 4 minutes in.
Seems about right.
Seems about right, yeah. And then obviously like instincts kicked in. Somebody went by me and I like got on their feet. And then, yeah, I was on a rental bike, which actually like, again, takes off a lot of the pressure. You're just kind of like, well, I guess I'm just going to go. Really. And again, like, I was like, oh man, I think I'm going to die. I'm not going to make it. I look at my watch. I was like 2 miles in. And I was like, wow. So I feel like this is pretty I feel like I hit all the, like, it felt like every race you've ever done. You know what I mean? Where you're like, oh, I'm not going to survive. But then you survive. Except I was just going significantly slower. But that's fine. Like, yeah. So I was like, oh, it feels like racing. It's just slower than I used to go.
It's your starting point.
Yeah. So.
Here at Feisty, we're excited to be teaming up with Xterra to help get more women onto the trails and into off-road triathlon. Xterra offers a full schedule of off-road triathlons all around the world, from super sprint to Olympic distance, youth races. Their events feature open water swimming, mountain biking, trail running, with a focus on the welcoming community and beautiful destinations. And I want to be clear, anyone can do an Xterra. You can do an Xterra. Even if you've never mountain biked before, other athletes are ready to get you to that finish line and are even known to offer a helping hand during races. In fact, we'll be doing a series of Feisty podcasts and videos with some tips and ways to get started. Stay tuned. You'll also recognize some of the most iconic names in triathlon who got their start in Xterra. Flora Duffy, Mel McQuaid, Leslie Patterson, and next year the World Championship race will return to the US with a new home in New Mexico. And most importantly, Xterra offers equal prize money, recognition, and spots to that World Championship. So if you're looking for a new adventure, hit the dirt and find a race to try at xterraplanet.com. That's XTERRA planet.com.
Hi, it's Kelly O'Mara.
And Sarah Gross, your other Feisty friends.
And we host the newish, Feisty podcast, The Feist, covering everything in women's sports that you need and want to know every week.
And the things you didn't know you wanted to know.
In one Feisty hour, it's the only women's sports podcast covering all your favorite sports: cycling, running, CrossFit, rugby, the Olympics, the things that other podcasts don't cover.
And giving you the stories behind the scenes, of course.
And why should these Feisty listeners listen to The Feist, Sarah?
Well, okay, Kelly, you know how women's sports in the last couple years have reached this like inflection point?
So I hear, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're, most people are kind of aware that like women's sports are growing, especially on the side of basketball, soccer. And it's really hard. Like I really want to be able to keep up with that movement and what's happening and the things that are growing and the behind the scenes information and like the business side and how the revenue's growing in different leagues. But I don't want to have to watch a ton of sports every week. Not that I don't love watching women's sports. But there's just a lot of it now, right? So
there are a lot of sports.
Yes.
Yeah.
So our podcast is a way to like keep up on the movement of women's sports while you are able to still pick and choose the ones that you want to watch yourself. So that's why people should listen.
Because we watch them.
Because we
and
watch
tell
them
you
for you
about them.
Yes. And we're fun.
And about everything. And we're fun. And we're going to do all the research behind the scenes, tell you everything you need to know. Listen to The Feist every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcast. You can follow or subscribe to The Feist on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. So it's fun. But I did talk to a bunch of people, and I wanted to play. So Chicago is also has a very big para triathlete wave, and is like the home of Dare to Try. So it's para athletes get a lot of their start there. And so I did talk after to one of the founders of Dare to Try, and so I want to hear from her.
Dare to Try is a para-triathlon organization serving kids, adults, and injured service members and veterans that have physical disabilities or visual impairments, and we help them live healthy, active lifestyles and get them involved in the sport we all love, triathlon. I am one of 3 co-founders alongside Melissa Stockwell, who's a pretty well-known para-triathlete, and Dan Tunn, and I serve as the organization's executive director. We are based here in Chicago and have athletes from all over the country. Over the course of the weekend, we had over 20 para-athletes participating, some for their very first time ever, some first triathlon post-injury. Maybe they were a triathlete before they lost their leg, and others kind of found our sport after their illness or injury and wanted to challenge themselves. And what's more challenging than 3 sports in transition? And we got really lucky today with amazing weather here in Chicago. Oftentimes it's the adaptive equipment, right? Somebody wants to get into triathlon. Bicycles are kind of usually a barrier, but for a wheelchair athlete, they need not only a hand cycle, which could be upwards of $4,000 as an entry-level piece of equipment, and they need a racing wheelchair for the run portion. And so oftentimes people aren't going to make that kind of investment unless they know they actually like the sport. And so one of the things that Dare to Try does is break down the barriers to entry. So we provide all the adaptive equipment, let them try out a whole bunch of different types of adaptive bikes, figure out what works for them. We also provide financial assistance if they can't afford the race entry fee. We find sighted guides for our blind and visually impaired athletes. And we really kind of bring them into a community that is supportive and there to help them every step of the way. We're over 15 years in now. We started with just a handful of athletes, and I think the success that the USA Paratriathlon team has had at the various Olympics, Paris, winning the most medals in triathlon ever, has really helped people want to get involved at the community level. Not because they would necessarily aspire to be a Paralympian, but they look at that individual and they're like, oh, well, if that person can do it, so can I. And I think the sport of triathlon has been so welcoming to the para community. It's one of the few sports where people with and without disabilities are out there at the same time on the same course, battling the same elements side by side. So it's really kind of a very community-based, sport, and the para community is really entrenched in that sport, which is amazing.
All right, so I do also want to add, they are always looking for guides and volunteers, and they need people out there. And Katie, have you ever guided? Because they always need fast people, I feel like is the thing.
They do, but you can't, and I could be wrong on this, so don't quote me on it, but I think you need to be not having raced at least a year, and you can't be a current world triathlon.
Yeah, at the elite level, if you're racing for a para circuit, you know what I mean? Yeah, then you can't have a current pro triathlete as your guide because it's deemed not fair.
Yeah, but I think it can be non-draft. So Aaron Royal, he's a guide and he's currently racing T100.
And you're wait a second, that's interesting. Yeah,
feels like a gray zone.
But I think about it.
I guess it's just
Nikki Bartlett was a guide for the Paralympics as well. So she was racing Ironman, but not on the ITU circuit.
So was Ben Hoffman, and so was Sid, Laura Siddall. So so I think it's because they're getting faster and faster at the Paralympics, so they need pros to guide them.
Yeah. Well, and Kevin McDowell is getting into it now, and that's part of Tommy, who's part of USA Triathlon Talent ID. My husband Tommy, he's one of his parts is trying to find guides for the athletes, the visually impaired athletes. So, but I guess it doesn't matter for athletes who I probably could guide for an athlete who's not going.
Yeah. At the sprint in Chicago, you probably could.
It's actually really intimidating though, because of the bike is completely handling a tandem is to me a bit scary, but yeah. But definitely, if people are interested, reach out to. Would you reach out to Dare to Try World Triathlon?
I think Dare to Try. I did Chicago Triathlon a lot coming up, and I just thought that I didn't realize they were Chicago based. I was just oh, there's a lot of para triathletes in triathlon, and then it only turned out. Then I only realized later that oh, it's actually because they're based here. And so they're one of the pretty big organizations. Obviously, Challenged Athletes is the other one, and they're based out of San Diego.
Yeah, and it was really cool hearing Carrie talk about just how accessible they make it for everyone, because you think triathlon's costly, paratriathlon is, even for visually impaired athletes, where you're well, the equipment's the same, but then you're flying your guide races, or I think probably they said they match guides for athletes, but it's a crucial part, trusting another person.
And that relationship, that trust relationship, has to be massive for both people, especially for the athlete that's being guided, especially for the visually impaired athletes.
For sure. So I saw a lot of them out there. It is a pretty big wave there, so it's they do a good job, I think.
Yeah, well, like, yeah, being on the same course, being in the race, and like that's a big part of USA Triathlon Paratri is like starting to have athletes not be just like put into the para-tri realm, but like have it be more triathlon, para-triathlon joined up. Like we have a couple of para-tri athletes who have been swimming with us here in Cary, and it's just been really cool to see a lot more of it intertwined rather than, I feel like during my time, it was more like USA Triathlon, USA Para-Triathlon, and we didn't mingle in together as much. But like even Carson Claw, like he's racing a lot, or not racing a lot, but training a lot with the Queens guys. And
I'm losing his name. Also changed his Project Podium, the Project Podium guys. Yeah. Paralympian guy whose name I can't remember. Who also races as an elite, like a pro athlete in Ironman circuit. But then he trains with the Project Podium guys. And the Project Podium, and then the other thing that's super interesting, obviously, is like USAT is also using SuperTri for like a lot of development. So when I was at the SuperTri race, like there's an effort to, every team has to have a U23 athlete, and then the USAT / Project Podium is sponsoring like one of the teams, the Stars and Stripes, as Katie knows. And so they're really using that to like kind of crash course teach these young athletes like all the skills. I feel like a little bad sometimes because I'm like, oh man, that is a crash course. Like
it's just what, like in France, they're doing it with the French Grand Prix. So like, and it's similar. Like it's really just throwing athletes into a higher level of competition than you get often in the US, like for draft legal. It was cool to see Michelle Magnani. Like it was her first time doing one. And like, she put her nose in that race, like, and I was really impressed watching her, like, for the first time doing a SuperTri, and like she made it through the first round, like pretty much with the group. So it was like, it was a brave. It didn't look like it was her first time doing it, like, so it was cool.
For people who don't know, SuperTri has 2 rules that are like, one, if you fall more than 90 seconds behind, you get pulled. Which is why when Katie thought I was doing the SuperTri race, we were like, I would definitely not survive like a lap. Like I would get pulled. Like,
I think it's eliminated. That's what the terminology that they use. Or is it eliminated? Yeah.
You do. Eliminated because you get the flag. So it's so disappointing when you get the flag. It's so sad.
And then the other rule is that athletes can earn a short shoot, which is like a shortcut on the run. And so in the men's race was like one guy just like ran away with it. But then the women's race, it was like a group and they were kind of going back and forth between like Jean Lahair, Georgia Taylor Brown, Fanny, who's like 17. And then there were 2 other girls in that first group, Rosa.
Oh, Rosa Capio.
And Miriam, I think. Anyway, but there was like, they're going back and forth. And so at the very last, like, but 2 of them had the short shoot. And you were like, oh, like,
oh, you didn't love it.
You know, when somebody else had a short shoot, you didn't.
Well, I'm just saying you didn't love it.
Oh, like, I think it was exciting, but you felt bad because they were like all running really hard, and then you know that this person's going to get like a 5-second shortcut.
So why do they get the shortcut though?
They get it for the first like out of the water, and then the first off the bike earn it for their team. And then their team distributes it to the athletes, like within the race. So like, at least that's what it was last year.
Yes.
So the team managers, who was like Parker Spencer is a team manager.
Tim Don. Yeah.
Tim Don, like they pull up the name or like put something on the person's like bike rack to let them know that they're the ones who will take the short shoot, which is often in the front of the race to get the most points, but it could also be like a single sport discipline to get those points, or like
strategy,
or bring someone like back into the race.
What happened to just swim, bike, run, have fun? Why did it get so
it's way more complicated. SuperTri is way more complicated, all right?
Be able to compute,
which makes it exciting.
It is exciting.
It is exciting to watch, and it was a really close women's race. And Jean had a great race. And Georgia got second, and then Fanny was third, and she was like crying. She was so excited because she's like 17 and it's kind of like one of her first big results. So it was really, and I did talk to Jean and Georgia after, and so I want to play our clips from them right now.
And I started a bit fast the run, And I was like, maybe mentally they will be like, she started fast, she had a short shoot, we will let her go and we will try to fight for the second place. And at the middle of the first lap, I was like, maybe I started a bit too fast. But then you have the short shoot, we'll be fine. And it's been fine, so that's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's different. When I come here, I have less pressure. It's like kind of more fun and more unpredictable, so sometimes you are disappointed. And I've been a bit unlucky with some SuperTri sometimes. But yeah, it's always a pleasure. You race with a team. And as well, it's not like you are in a team with some people you are not usually, like not your national teammate. So that's pretty cool. You can, like, instead of the race, there is all the around as well. And yeah, I really like the vibe, and that's really cool. The thing is, like, I'm pretty much friends with not everyone, like I cannot be friends with everyone, but like we plan to do the active recovery on the kayak on the Michigan. This I talk about it to Georgia, so let's see if we will really do it, because maybe we'll be dead. But yeah, I mean, it's like we are not visiting that much when we are racing, sadly. But like in Toronto, we went out a bit, and it's always nice to share more than only the races. So yeah, we are trying to make the most of it.
And then we talked to Georgia Taylor Brown, who got second behind Jean.
So I was just saying, this is the start of 7 races in 7 weekends. So I've done 1 and I've got 6 to go. I'm just hoping I'm going to get fitter and faster, because I'm not unfit. I'm fit, but I'm just not fast at the minute, and I'm not like race ready. So I'm hoping that all of these races will get me a bit more race ready, and I'll get a bit sharper each race. So yeah, we'll see. I've been in this sport for 15 years now, but I'm still learning. I think I won't really train much over the next 6-7 weeks. It's going to be maybe like 10 to 12 hours of training per week. Just like no mileage really, just some short rides, easy runs, and then a few pickups here and there in each discipline, and that's about it. Probably just mostly resting, because it's a lot of travel as well. So my favourite, I actually really love the gravel racing. That's probably my favourite. I obviously love triathlon, but it's been really fun to jump into the gravel and do something different and not know what to expect. And it's so hard. Like, it's 100k races, and it goes from the gun, and it never lets up. And you think, it's going to have to let up at some point, and it just doesn't. So I love it. It's like my style of racing. It's just a bit crazy and chaotic, and that's what I love. But yeah, I love the SuperTri stuff. It's the same. Yeah, it's quite different, but then yeah, this is still like super fast, and it never lets up. So I do love that. We're hoping to go kayaking. I don't know what the time is, but we're hoping to go to kayaking this evening. So maybe have a cocktail, a few tacos, and then go kayaking. Very romantic.
Hey Feisties, Sarah Gross here. We are so excited to be back with you here on our new, shiny, Feisty Triathlon podcast. Thank you for listening. I am so glad you're here. I want to tell you about one of the Feisty team's favorite recovery products, Prevenex's Neurify Plus. I use the chocolate flavor myself every day to support my strength training. At Feisty, we only support brands that our team uses and products that deliver results we have seen for ourselves. Prevenex's Neurify Plus is one of the best tasting plant-based and vegan shakes I've tried, and trust me, I've tried a lot. It contains balanced protein, carbs, and fat with comprehensive, high-quality micronutrients to help fuel your health. It also contains probiotics and digestive enzymes, so it's super easy to digest and doesn't give you that bloaty, gassy kind of effect that other protein products can produce. Unlike most supplement brands, Prevenex tests everything with pharmaceutical-grade precision, and they also offer a 100% money-back guarantee. So try Neurify Plus or any Prevenex product today, and you get 15% off your first order with the code FEISTYTRI at Prevenex.com. That's FEISTYTRI for 15% off at Prevenex.com. The link will be, as always, in the show notes. Regular listeners of Feisty podcasts will not be surprised to learn that for decades, running shoes have been researched, tested, and designed for men. brands have relied on the shrink it and pink it approach to sell male shoes to female customers. But women's feet differ from men's in numerous ways. We have increased toe splay, higher arches, a more narrow heel, a lower ankle bone, upward angled toenails, and a rounded instep that is smaller in circumference. And because of all those differences, that is why we need Hedas. Hedas has unlocked the science behind women's biomechanics through dedicated research and creates running shoes specifically designed for women. So that means a lower heel collar to reduce rubbing on women's ankle bones, plate design to provide heel stability and to decelerate foot impact, rounded instep creating a snug fit through the middle to match the curvature of a woman's foot. Every feature is designed to give you more power and less problems. Breathability that lets your feet breathe easily mile after mile, plus fast drying tech that doesn't allow sweat to slow you down, adaptive stretch that molds to your foot like it was made just for you. I personally have been running in Hedas for over 2 years, and from the first time I tried them, I knew that there was something different. They really felt like they were made for me. The shoes are super light but provide good cushioning, and they really support my very high arches. I honestly didn't think I would notice the difference after running for so many years in male model shoes, but I really did. So, try Hedas for yourself today. Go to hedas.com and use the code STAYFEISTY for 20% off. That is Stay Feisty for 20% off at hedas.com. The link will, as always, be in the show notes.
Okay, so Georgia is that was the first of 7. So she is doing the T100 this weekend.
Correct. Yes. She's crazy.
And then
I like her say she was like going to be gaining fitness through the thing. And I'm like, I'm not sure that's what I typically think of for this like 7 race block, but it will get to give her a lot of speed work.
Yeah, I think you have to tell yourself that. I lost track though. I was like, after like the next 2 or 3, I was like, what other races is she doing? I don't even know. I was like, I don't even know.
I was quite fascinated by the fact that she said she was going for kayaking, cocktails, and tacos. That's what I honed in on that interview.
With Jean.
And actually, Jean was like, I'm not sure. I think Georgia mentioned it, but we're going kayaking. It was almost like, oh, aren't we?
Yeah, they said I don't think they quite succeeded.
Oh, they didn't go.
Because then, like, I guess some people went. Because the next day I was like, oh, how like did you guys?
Yeah.
And some people went, but yeah, I think there was a little bit of a. They went night kayaking. I was like, I didn't even know night kayaking was like a thing.
That sounds nice.
It's kind of cool though that they were making an effort, regardless, to try and enjoy life outside of the race in the cities that they were in. And I think it was Jean who actually said that was a big part of the trip to Chicago was to actually experience the city, in paraphrasing of course to what she actually did say, but
sure.
Which is important as well. And also I suppose it builds a bit of off the field of play camaraderie between the girls and the boys, you know. So
it's a real special part of SuperTri. I would say that's far different than World Triathlon races. Like when you go to World Triathlon, like you see other people, but you're mostly with your country and or your squad, like whoever you train with. But I feel like there's not quite as much intermingling of people who don't normally like see each other. Like for like Fanny, like I wouldn't really have had much time with Fanny except for SuperTri. And then I don't think they did it with Chicago, but in the past they've done it where they actually do like an event with the city or wherever
they did some kind of talk like Friday evening before
with Parker.
Yeah. And then they did have Jean was out and Gina, that's how Serrano were out handing out medals the next day. So
at the kids race or at
the finish, the regular finish.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so the way they intertwine like the community and just like, and also it just has a way different vibe, like a far more relaxed vibe. I don't know
It cracks me up what like elite athlete. Like I saw Pauline Ferrand-Prévot, who won the Tour de France Femmes. She was like, yeah, it was way less stressful than the Olympics last year. And I was like, it was less stress? Like the amount of stress, I feel like what you guys think is like low stress. Like, because everyone's like, oh, SuperTri is so low stress and fun. And I'm like, okay, sure.
Well, it's super hard and stressful in the race, but I think it doesn't hold the same, I don't want to say importance but it's like the Olympics is just like probably to a fault.
Sure.
Everyone puts so much
Well, it's
into
once
that.
every 4 years,
like,
and you may or may not get one
So
shot
much
at
pressure.
it. I mean, there's no comparison.
Yeah.
And like SuperTri is not like points based in the sense of your results, and it's team based, so it makes it even more fun. Also more stressful in a way, I guess, because people are counting on you. So when you get eliminated, you're like 0 points, man.
But it's for your team as
All right,
opposed
so
to your
here's a question.
country.
Yeah.
It's different pressure.
Yeah.
So these people doing all these races. So Georgia's only doing the T100. She's not one of the crazy people doing the WTCS and the T100.
We should have 8 and 7 weekends was way more fun.
Right.
Just kidding.
And now I think we've established it's only Hayden and Morgan doing both the T100 and the WTCS.
Hang on,
right?
sorry, Kelly, did you just say Georgia isn't doing T100?
Yeah, no, she is doing the T100. She's
doing WTCS.
not doing WTCS. Sorry.
Yeah.
Too much going on.
Oh my God. I know. I even called it like the wrong T100 at one. I was like London, and people were like, no, that already happened. I was like, there's too many races. Oh,
We're going to France.
Well, and something called it Fréjus to me, or however, I that's probably not how you pronounce it, but the location. And I'd only like heard of French Riviera. So I was like, what is Fréjus? What is
it's a town in.
How do you say it?
Joanne just shrugged. We're all looking at you.
I know Kelly's not going to know. And I was actually speaking German in Switzerland because it was a Swiss-German speaking area of Switzerland. And then I step off the train in Geneva and it's a bonjour and merci. And I was like, what? I have to speak French? I don't know what I'm doing. Google Translate, please.
Well, I know the way I'm pronouncing it does not sound French. So somebody can help us and help correct us on this. But anyways, I was just like, is there another thing going on? But it's the same.
Yeah, I think French Riviera is the like general term, and that covers like all of the like towns there.
Is that like the Côte d'Azur?
So this is it's like it's like Nice and Cannes and Antibes and all, whatever. And so this is like it's like 30 or 40 or 50 minutes, something like that, outside Nice. So the last time I Googled it, something like that. So
last time, in case it moved.
It moved, yeah. I don't know. But it sounds so. Which one is first, T100 or WTCS?
I want to say if the T100 is first, it's on Saturday. I know the WTS is Sunday.
Okay, so T100 is first. And I was watching some of the video. All the athletes are landing and they're like course previewing. And they're saying it's very like technical. Like if you've ridden Nice 70.3, or like it's very technical, they're saying. And I got nervous though, because Paula was like, oh, I don't know how they managed to close all these roads. And I was like, oh God, I hope they're closing them. I hope so. Yeah.
I know I talked to someone from USAT, and they were saying that it's actually a challenge because of how many road closures there are for like them to get to where they need to be as staff members because of the road closures. That is literally my only information that I have. So I'm not sure like the extent of that, but
I hope so, because it's like
it's closed.
One of the challenges with Nice is that the roads are not fully closed, and that was like one of the challenges at the World Championships. But I think that's just because it's like obviously like much longer time, so I think they can't. So anyway, T100s first. Sounds like it's going to be a technical, interesting ride course. And Joanne, who else? We wrote down everybody. I think there's Paul is there, Indy's there, Georgia's there, Jess Learman.
Yeah. I don't think we have, obviously we don't have Taylor Knabe or Lucy Charles because I presume they're headed for Kona. So Marcus Sanchez, Hannah Berry, Grace Tech, Ellie Salthouse, Ashley Gentle, Caroline Poole. Yeah, they're all there.
I mean, Katie, athletes are the worst. They might pull out in the next 48 hours between when we've recorded this and when it airs.
Well, I'm just thinking for Lisa, because she is doing Kona. So
yeah. But But that's still 5
ways
weeks,
out.
6 weeks away. Yeah, you could do this as your last.
Oh, well, like, I guess like Lucy.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, no, actually, the ones
When
that
you
are
said when you said Nib wasn't doing it, I was like, no one should be doing it. But then,
and then we have away from that, we have the last stop on the Pro Series tour for Ironman.
We do. I was going to say before that, though. So it's like Saturday's T100 and then Sunday is WTCS. And I want to say we have Cassandra back. We have Beth back. Sorry, so Cassandra Bogarin, Beth Potter, Lisa Tersch, who have all won this year. I can't remember. Like, anyway.
I don't think
I guess
for that.
Beth has won. I guess you're right. As I said that, I was like, I don't know. But Emma
Hashtag
Lombardi
false
won, and
news.
she's
Kelly is
racing.
manifesting, so she'll probably win the WTCS race if she hasn't won one already this year. Kelly has form at manifesting.
Oh my God. I had to issue, I feel like, what is my corrections I've had to issue? 2 weeks ago, I misstated which platforms use AI. Brownlee Fitness does not. On our other podcast earlier this week, I missaid how many countries UTMB goes through. Oh my gosh. Oh. But Cassandra has definitely won this year, and obviously she's defending world champ. Beth is the world champ from right? Obviously she's good.
And she's leading the series right now.
And she's leading the series. And then Lisa Tersch won this year.
Abu Dhabi, right?
Yeah. And then I want to say, was it Emma Lombardi who won the other one?
No.
It was one of the
Leonie.
Leonie. There was like with the other French girl. One of the who are always also near the top. And so it is pretty competitive. I know it's like an off year of the Olympics, but it's still like quite a lot of big names.
Yeah, there's a good amount of good, like the top of the standings athletes.
And Spivey is not doing the T100, but she is still doing the WTCS right now.
Which will be cool because I think like we were talking about with Chelsea.
Right.
It is hard. Like I'll be so excited to see how the guys do, like doing the double. And like for Spivey not to do the double, like I don't know. I feel like you'll be able to do better.
But one would think, yes.
With one focus, although I also wouldn't be surprised if like Hayden wins both of them. So
yeah, I mean that sounds reasonable, but
that sounds about right.
Watch this space.
Watch this race.
Yeah.
It is a new course though, right, Katie? Like you've never raced it, but it's totally new.
I've never raced it, and I heard that the like T100 might be a little bit more of an interesting course, but I honestly haven't been. I've looked now twice to try and find the course maps for World Triathlon, like the World Triathlon race, and I haven't found them. So we'll just watch it.
We'll just be surprised.
Yeah, it'll be in the morning here on the East Coast, so probably too early for you.
Probably
West Coast.
All right, Joanne, and then we also can talk about. So when you weren't here, Joanne, 2 weeks ago, and it was Chelsea and Katie, they were like, "You want to talk about Ironman? What?"
We really missed you. We probably really missed you because I'm like, I need to know more.
We've got the perfect balance.
But it's hard to keep up with everything.
We've the perfect balance. You look after WTCS, SuperTri, bit of T100. Yeah. I do Ironman 70.3, bit of T100. And then Kelly just has like the overview of manifesting all these results that actually don't even exist.
Right.
And these rumors. We have the perfect
rumors. It's fine.
Perfect recipe.
Oh yeah, the WTC or T100 in Spain, they announced a new location. There you go.
That's the one that's taking the place of the Valencia one that I said was canceled, but it's just moved.
Now everybody's arguing about why the Valencia one was canceled because, everyone's pointing fingers. But that's that's fine. Whatever.
And speaking of Spain, before we even head into the final of the Pro Series, did you see that they released the bike course maps for Ironman 70.3 Marbella? There's like 1,700 meters of climbing. I don't know what that is in your money, but that's a lot in 90K. That's
a lot.
Really going to separate the men from the boys and the girls from the women.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I saw the maps for Marbella 70.3 Worlds. They were released. I didn't care because I'm not racing it. So I just was like, oh, that's nice. But that's a lot. That's a lot of climbing. Yeah.
5,500 feet for
90K.
Us.
That's a lot. Yeah.
For 56 miles. Yeah.
For 90K or 56 miles. Yeah, I was trying to think. I have to remember it in two sets of currency. Because when you're in the UK, it's in miles, and you're in Europe, it's in kilometers. It's very hard.
Wait, are your guys' miles the same as our miles?
A mile is a mile, isn't it, Kelly?
No. Like the UK has like other like I don't know what the fuck a stone is.
A
Like in the
stone's
UK, and you're
14
like,
pounds,
oh,
and
yeah.
a kg is 2.2 pounds.
So then I feel like there's also other things like in the UK that are.
Remember, I live in
different.
Ireland now. I don't live in the UK. I live in Ireland. It's very different.
Yeah, but do you guys have miles?
We used to have miles.
The miles are the same.
We're ambidextrous.
Could you imagine if a mile was different? Just like wherever you went.
Is it
I
1.6
swear,
kilometers?
I think it is in places.
A mile.
Yeah.
Isn't it 1650 to be exact?
Probably.
But I don't know.
I don't know.
Yes.
You know, it's nearly 9 o'clock at night on a Wednesday evening.
All right,
All right.
To our expertise here, or your expertise with the long course.
Ironman. So it's the last Pro Series race before the championships. Like all that's like, because then it goes Nice, Kona, Marbella. So the last Pro Series race before championship is ZLMC this weekend.
Zelmzee.
Yes. And I think we have Solvig racing. We have Cat racing.
And
Who else
Reichman is racing. Lisa Perterer for the women.
No.
Yeah.
Wait.
Now Katie's confused because she thought you said Lisa Perterer was racing the T100. So now she's like, how is she doing all of these?
I am.
Hang on, let me pull up the T100 again. Lisa Perterer is not
Is it
on
the
the
same
T100
weekend?
list.
No.
Oh, she must have been on it before then. Okay. Or
Yeah,
maybe I
think-
just
Yeah, maybe you just hallucinated.
same
that.
thing.
You're just
I'm
saying
saying
that.
things.
No, Lisa is not racing T100. She is racing ZLMC 70.3. And also, this is very hard. Why it's hard to get fans to follow Pro Triathlon.
What do you mean? Everyone loves Pro Triathlon.
Yeah,
The pros keep us guessing.
very clear.
It's part of the mystery around their lives.
The
Yeah.
charm.
Yes.
Who else is racing?
God,
right
I
now?
actually didn't. It's more a case of who's pulled out of racing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
okay.
Daniela Kleiser is out. Lotte Wilm, Sarah
Mm.
Svensk, and Jana. They're all out. But the pro press conference on Friday is Kat and Solveig and Lisa. So
Cam Worf also
Yeah.
pulled out, and I thought he was trying to do every Pro Series
yeah,
race
but
this
he
year.
pulled out of
Did
Swansea
he
as well,
fail
though.
at that goal?
Mhm.
Oh, so he'd already failed at that goal. I really wanted to see him do it.
Yeah.
Just because it sounded ridiculous.
Yeah, but it looks like it's going to be a great race, and there are 2,300 age groupers racing as well, so it's really good. And it's a great race, so I think it's going to be really exciting.
Is it when they had World Championships there, 70.3, like 10 years ago, something like that? You're looking at me confused. I'm pretty sure.
No, we're
I'm pretty sure they did. Now I'm going to look it up.
Might be right. South Africa, Chattanooga, Florida, Finland, Utah, New Zealand.
Yeah, I thought it went to LMC once.
That's 8 of them. Vegas was before we started rotating.
You're like, oh man. Well, now I feel like I'm gonna have to go.
He's
and, like, go
having
down
what
this
we would
hole.
call in Ireland
know.
brain farts.
All right. Well, I was gonna say it was like a very well-known race, but is it the same course? And now it's like, who even knows? Has it? But we have had big races there before, though.
Yes. But I don't think it's had a world championship at it.
Okay. Now we're
we're
just
just
like all
speculating.
Googling while we're talking. We're just like,
Anyway, but look, it's going to be a great race. Kat Matthews is second in the Pro Series standing, but she has a race in hand with this one.
yes, Joanne. In 2015, it was in ZLMC. I am right. Okay. I only remember this because that was like the last year Lucy did it as an age grouper or something, and I just remember like seeing whatever. It was like a time when like people you know now as pros did it then as age groupers, and so I've
That's
seen the
10
pictures.
years ago.
10 years ago, yeah. I was going to ask, is it the same course? But clearly we have no idea. We should just speculate about
Remember what? I doubt it, because every year there's probably small little changes made to most courses. So
Right.
you can never really,
Right.
I think, have a course that's always exactly the same. Because your boys might move slightly, or your
I
crew
know.
might be
Which
in
is
a
why
long
it's weird
place.
when we have, and I know this is a hot topic, but it's why it's weird when we have course records, because it's like they always change a little bit. Like there are like fast years and slow years and years that like the buoy was further.
But they're not
the
called
other
course
year.
records anymore. Definitely with Ironman,
No.
they're called
Well, Ironman does it.
course best times or Ironman world best times. I don't think they're in as like records.
Yeah, I mean, Ironman very, very clearly doesn't call them that because of that reason, but other people do.
Okay, well, I'm not other people.
Well, I have a few, and I'm really proud. Like when I get like tagged of like best like fastest 5K or whatever on this course, there's like a part of me that's like pretty sure the course has changed a couple times, but also I'm like, oh yeah, I'm still relevant.
You are be relevant. Oh my god, I can't believe you just said that.
I think, Katie, I have a course record on a race that no longer happens, so I feel like I will have that forever and ever.
Nicole,
I know.
They're the best course records to have, Kelly. The ones where the race will never happen again.
Not that we want events not to last, but I mean, you're the last one.
Anyway, we are seriously digressing. Have we any more gossip we need to discuss?
Right. So the point was ZLAMC is this weekend. It was a world championship course 10 years ago. Kelly didn't make that fact up. We don't know if the course is the same. We do know that Solveig, Kat, Anne, and Lisa will right now be on the start list, but that could change. Though I don't think I do. Like Kat's clearly there. Like she's
it's this weekend,
Instagramming.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's also 2 slots for the pros for the Nice 70.3 World Championship. Yeah. For gender. For the men, for the women.
In 2026.
Yeah.
So
it's
that'd be a good
it will
race.
be.
We're going to be so busy this weekend.
I know. Are you guys going to watch all of these races? That is the question.
I'm going to watch the WTCS. I'm going to connect with the T100.
Connect with.
Yes.
That's
And then I'm going to rely on you two for the last Ironman. No,
Okay.
I'll look up the results, but that's probably all I can handle. Plus my child,
Right.
children, 2 of them now, and then also our team.
It's a busy weekend.
I also have gone down the UTMB hole, and that is also this weekend. So I feel like that's going to take up a lot of my
I'm going to have
on
stuff on in the background on 2 separate screens whilst I'm researching for the next 6 weeks of racing.
Yes.
Oh yes.
All right, Joanne. Anything? Well, are you glad you came back?
I'm so glad I had
Will
a
you
summer
stay?
break. I feel my heart just feels full now. Full for my friends on the Feisty podcast.
She appreciates us more now.
I'm not appreciated you, babies.
I'm just kidding.
I missed our chats.
And
I'm
will
sure the
you
listeners
be
didn't miss
back?
our crack either.
And will you be back next week? That's
I
the other
will
question.
because I don't travel till Thursday,
right.
but I might not be, and I will be back the following. No, I won't be back the following week. I'll be in Nice the following week. Yeah,
All right. So we have one more week of Joanne.
one more week, and
There
then
we
you have a 2-week break, I think. Again, yeah.
Okay.
So get all your Joanne questions.
We'll have to find. I'm gonna have to find somebody else who knows stuff about Ironman.
I'll send you all my notes. It's okay. I'll send you a voice note.
Okay.
Everyone's gonna send them to me so that
Yes.
it makes me like, wow, she's learned so much in such a short
But to
amount
be
of
fair,
time.
there'll be nothing happening because there'll probably no races. Well, there are races on, I suppose. No, there are races. I was going to say there's nothing happening. But
There's like a
there's
gap.
pros racing in Belgium
Yeah.
next week with us, and then we go into Nice, and there's pros at Ironman Wales as well. So.
But we are in like you hit Xterra. You'll be at men's Nice, Xterra World Champs, WTCSs, Women's Kona, World Triathlon. You have World Champs. So it's like a whole bunch, and then you have 70.3 World Champs. So it's like a whole bunch of World Champs now. We're just like in championship
so
season.
are. So exciting.
We so are.
Are you ready,
All right.
Kelly?
All right, then. Don't I?
You
seem
are
ready?
so
I'm
ready.
so
I can't believe you forgot that it was 2015. That's LMC.
All right, come back next week, and we'll see who's here.
Yeah. Don't miss it.